to do anything other than what the coach wants him to do? Do you think they would say, "Hey, come
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
give me the biscuit, buddy.
yeah."
Have you ever had a coach where you've rolled your eyes and said, no?
I have only had coaches at which I've rolled my eyes.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And then we're going to try it this way
Yeah.
ourselves.
But there is a history of guys like this finding magic, and not to say that my father-in-law, Clark Gillies, was one, but he happened to play with a couple of skill guys because he could make a play when he needed to, but do some other things. And Hyman did that for Matthews and does it for McDavid at times. But if you're Lorenz, you have to be sitting at home thinking of those examples, being like, well, there's $40 million out there for me if this goes perfectly, and otherwise, back to being $1 million guy the rest of my life.
Yeah. There'd be a ton going through his head before puck drop.
I think maybe this is oversimplifying it, but there's a reason there's first-line players and the reason there's fourth-line players, and it's very rare that just a straight-up fourth-liner, like he's a career fourth-liner, he's a good fourth-liner, he does what he does, but like
he's a PTO this year.
To go up there, like even those guys you're talking about, like Hyman, he has the elite work rate to dig out pucks and has the ability to finish, and like, he's a $5 million player. Like, I love Steven Lorenz, but like,
hey, buddy.
Oh, here we go.
We got highlights. Look at this. This is
Oh,
great.
my
We
God.
talk about work rate, getting in on pucks. This is what's got him there, right?
Yeah, I know. Listen, backhand like Matt Sundin in the second game, we thought he was maybe the best signing of all time.
What about this one? He still might be.
Yeah. Anyways, I hope this works because this guy is passionate, cares, loves the Leafs. I really like this guy, but I'm skeptical. Is that fair?
I don't know. I'm still obsessed
you're
with
not
the fact that we just showed
skeptical.
highlights.
You're
on
just-
Road
Yeah, that was
Report. This is
crazy.
the rule, dude.
There's nothing really to be skeptical on.
Well, how about you just put, like, switch it up? You don't have to put the reason you're putting Matthews in a fourth liner with Matthews and Marner to get the $25 million combined guys going. You're putting it on a $750,000 player
Yeah,
to
you
do
are.
that. Give me a break. Split them up. Do something else.
But that
this is
says,
great.
should
do
we not
something else.
Should we not be reading more into this? Isn't about Steve Lorenz. It's about why is there no energy on
Exactly.
Matthews and Marner right now?
Yes.
I would say that they went, we laughed at the -6 and how impossible that is to roll snake eyes that many times in a row. But then to come out the next night, and it should have been a bounce back performance and and to not have that, they weren't even the best line on the team the next game,
But that was but one game before that, we're praising Matthews back.
Well, I know. So, but back-to-back games, you would think that the embarrassment of the one game would be enough to get some energy out of them. I do think it says something that they're like, give him the guy who goes in hard and gets the puck every night. Maybe this is the start of being concerned again. Not saying, just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. We're a radio show. We have lots of time.
Yeah.
Good challenge tonight against a pretty good hockey club.
You want to know what their coach wants to see from them tonight?
Yes.
Let's hear from Craig Berube on that.
One, please.
Well, just a more complete game, I think. I thought like last game, I think we were pretty solid defensively, but we didn't create enough offensively, power play included. So just we need to put it all together tonight. But at the same time, they're a stingy team, so you got to take what they give you, and we can't open it up. And we don't want to play that way either. We just need a real good, solid hockey game for 60 minutes tonight. We need everybody. We can't have any passengers tonight.
We don't want to open it up. We just got blanked at home on Hockey Night in Canada. Heaven forbid we take a chance. Sorry. I really like all
I don't know. He kind of sounded like Marner.
What do you mean?
Well, we weren't that bad, right? There's a lot that I liked about our game Saturday night.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
Is it a sales job?
I think it's 2 days afterwards. Like, we were decent defensively. You watch the tape. I think it's a little different now than it is 2 minutes after the game saying I thought we played well. Anyways.
Vancouver didn't have much, but I mean, is that what they want to be? Maybe it is. Maybe that's that. We never did get to all the tree living clips. If you had interest in those, or if you'd like to go somewhere else, please let me know.
Well,
I also want to talk Riley. If you want to talk Riley,
let's stick with the team before we go into management.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about defense or do you want to talk about Yarncroc? There's an update today. Joseph Wall also took more ownership about his last start. Where do you want to go, JB?
let's just get a quick Yarncroc update.
I know this is exciting to you.
I know it's going to be 10 seconds, but I do love the Yarncroc.
You got a Yarncroc jersey at home. Yarncroc.
I'm a fan. Clip for.
Well, timeline, that's a tough one still, I think. He's a ways away, but he's progressing in the right direction. Kind of skating a little bit now, which is a good sign. So, we'll see how it goes here, I'd say in the next 2 weeks, and then we'd have more definitive timeline.
Kali Kucherov.
Can I tell you something? I don't even know what's wrong with him.
Sports hernia.
The sports hernia.
That's right. I forgot. It's just been so long since we've heard his name. Forgot about that.
And there's surgery there, wasn't there?
Yep. Yeah. He's coming back April 16th.
It would make no sense for him to come back a day before that.
Yeah.
That's a terrible thought, though. I don't want to plug him in game 1, 2, 3. But,
send him down to the Marlies, get the conditioning stint down there. And
you can plug him in after the trade deadline.
No, you can't.
No, you're not allowed?
No, the salary cap, so the roster limit does go away. So you can have unlimited contracts.
Yes.
But the salary cap is still in place until the final day of the season.
Final day of the season.
So
okay.
Yeah, couldn't quite plug him in. But yeah, you can send him to the Marlies.
Yeah.
Okay. Joseph Wall. Mm-hmm. I think we got a clip on him. He will start tonight.
Yeah.
He'll go up against Jake Ottinger. Last time stood on his head.
And Ottinger did the opposite. Ottinger, what was the final score of that game? But they scored a lot of goals on him. Not pretty.
Nick Robertson's favorite team to play.
All right, let's get to Craig Berube on Joseph Wall taking ownership for the loss the other night.
Oh, I do like that. I like anybody that takes ownership of themselves and the team and things like that. That's important. And, he wants to be better, and just like the whole team wanted to be better that night, like we didn't play a good enough hockey game to be successful.
Okay, and let's just be clear here. Joseph Wall spoke the other night on his performance against Carolina. He didn't start Vancouver with the Hildebeest.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yep.
He got that.
So he goes back again tonight.
Mm-hmm. It's good. You guys have any concerns about Hildeby?
Well, I just want to stay for Joseph Wall because I believe he should have started Saturday night. Yes. And I do believe that it would have been a classic scenario where you come off a crappy game and you're needed 48 hours later to stop the bleeding.
Greg Simpson said the same on the broadcast.
And that's the playoffs. We're down 1-0. We're down 2-1. You were no good, and now you need to come and become the best goalie on the ice right now.
Yeah.
And I think they missed an opportunity to put Joseph Wall in a position of, buddy, this isn't about you physically. This isn't about us worrying about you being hurt. This is about you having mental toughness to come off a bad loss and turning it right around.
So my thought was, Kip, that I totally agree, but I do wonder if they got some inclination of maybe he's not feeling 100% healthy, and maybe that's him saying, I don't know, this doesn't feel quite right, or if it's some data they have from they wear the equipment in practice.
So how do you get over that? And because if that happens in the playoffs, you're ruined.
But I think it's not the playoffs. It's January, and you already lost a goalie doing this. So another injury-prone goalie that you played on the next night due to merit. So he had a bad game.
So you're saying there's no reason between now and the end of the regular season to ever consider a scenario where you want to replicate what it would be like in the playoffs? Because what are we playing 82 games for, Sammy?
Because, Kipper, I watched this guy's ankle explode on a floater from the half boards last year, and he was gone for 2 months. You have to.
You got to put that behind you. You got to put it behind you.
But you can't, Kipper. You have to treat this guy the way that it's kind of been merited his whole career. Like, he's been injured his whole career. You can't just push. You can't start him every night.
No, but I do agree with Kip that it's like you have to operate like he's someone you're going to be able to do this
For sure.
with.
I understand, but you also have another goalie who had better numbers than him. So you're hoping he comes back healthy, and you can go back and forth. And then if it's in the playoffs, guess what? If Woll starts game 1 and he's due to, guess who's going in game 2? It's the other guy. So I don't know if it's necessarily something you need to be like, maybe when we get into March, you can start thinking about it. April, maybe start thinking about it. But now it's January. You got to keep him healthy. Like, if he gets hurt, then what? You got Murray and Hildeby. Yeah.
I know, but I do feel like I'm big on experimenting in the regular season and it's why I get frustrated with the lines. It's like, could we see what this looks like? Could we see what that looks like? It's January. It's a pretty good time to take an injury risk if you're going to take one.
I love the saying that 82 game season is a dress rehearsal for the big show.
Totally understand.
If you don't practice well, if you don't rehearse well, how the heck are you going to do it when it counts?
Stolarz is back on the ice, I'm told. And by I'm told, I mean I read it somewhere.
Kris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin to Los Angeles Kings, possible deal with Toronto Maple Leafs. In an interesting twist in the NHL trade market, new rumors are emerging about Kris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin potentially being traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Sources indicate that the Kings, who have been one of the most active teams in recent weeks, are evaluating the possibility of bolstering their defense with Beauchemin, while Versteeg, who brings strong offensive capabilities, could be a key piece in a larger trade. This move becomes even more intriguing considering the Kings' surplus of offensive pieces available for trade, exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for to strengthen their roster. It's speculated that with Versteeg included in the deal, the Leafs could be targeting a possible addition like Wayne Simmonds, along with a mid-range draft pick. This move makes sense given Simmonds' struggles this season, as he has yet to find his top form on the ice. To add more drama to the trade talk, there are even whispers that veteran defenseman Tomas Kaberle could be included, opening the door for a potential pursuit of Brayden Schenn. If completed, this move could have a significant impact on reshaping the Leafs lines and adding more depth to the team. Stay tuned for updates to see if these trades come to fruition and how they might shape the future of Toronto and Los Angeles this season. In an interesting twist in the NHL trade market, new rumors are emerging about Kris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin potentially being traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Sources indicate that the Kings, who have been one of the most active teams in recent weeks, are evaluating the possibility of bolstering their defense with Beauchemin, while Versteeg, who brings strong offensive capabilities, could be a key piece in a larger trade. This move becomes even more intriguing considering the Kings' surplus of offensive pieces available for trade, exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for to strengthen their roster. It's speculated that with Versteeg included in the deal, the Leafs could be targeting a possible addition like Wayne Simmonds, along with a mid-range draft pick. This move makes sense given Simmonds' struggles this season, as he has yet to find his top form on the ice. To add more drama to the trade talk, there are even whispers that veteran defenseman Tomas Kaberle could be included, opening the door for a potential pursuit of Brayden Schenn. If completed, this move could have a significant impact on reshaping the Leafs lines and adding more depth to the team. The Kings' situation is complex, as they are in the midst of a transitional period. Their aging roster, which includes a core group that led them to several successful playoff campaigns in the past, has seen some struggles in recent seasons. While there's a clear need for defensive help, Los Angeles may also want to improve their offensive consistency in order to make a deep playoff push. The combination of Beauchemin's defensive reliability and Versteeg's offensive upside could help the Kings balance their lineup. From the Leafs' perspective, this potential deal is about retooling for the future. The team is in a position to compete, but they also need to solidify certain areas on the ice. Adding a player like Wayne Simmonds could provide the grit and scoring touch that the team has been missing. Furthermore, acquiring a mid-range draft pick could help with future team-building efforts, as Toronto looks to remain competitive while still developing young talent. The inclusion of Kaberle in the trade package could be a strategic move for both teams. The veteran defenseman, who has been with the Leafs for a long time, has seen his role diminished in recent seasons. However, his experience and offensive abilities could be a valuable asset for Los Angeles, who could use a steady presence on the blue line to help their younger players develop. The talk surrounding Brayden Schenn's potential involvement in the deal adds an intriguing layer to the negotiations. Schenn, a versatile forward, has shown flashes of brilliance but has been inconsistent at times. If the Leafs are able to land him, it could be a great opportunity for both the player and the team to find success together. Schenn's physicality, two-way game, and leadership could be exactly what the Leafs need to bolster their forward group. While the trade market can be volatile and unpredictable, these rumors suggest that both the Kings and Leafs are preparing for significant changes. For Toronto, this could mark the beginning of a new era, with a focus on adding more experience and depth. For Los Angeles, the trade could be a chance to retool and address some of the weaknesses in their lineup, while still competing for a playoff spot this season. Of course, as with any trade rumors, it's important to remember that these discussions are fluid and can evolve quickly. There are many moving parts in these types of negotiations, and both teams will likely have to weigh their options carefully before making any final decisions. It's also possible that other teams could enter the fray, further complicating the situation. In the coming days, fans of both teams will be watching closely to see if any concrete moves are made. The NHL trade deadline is fast approaching, and teams are scrambling to position themselves for a successful postseason. Whether this rumored deal materializes or not, the possibility of a major trade between the Leafs and Kings will certainly keep fans on edge as the season continues to unfold. The trade talks involving Versteeg, Boschman, and potentially Simmons or Schenn highlight the delicate balance that NHL teams must strike between immediate success and long-term growth. Both the Leafs and Kings are trying to find that balance, and this rumored deal could ultimately serve as a